everyone, welcome back. I am Dr. Alexandra Mayer. If you are new to my channel, welcome. We're so excited that you're here. If you've been watching our videos every week, thank you. I think this video is gonna be a really great one. So I decided to do this video because in my opinion, this is one of the hardest products to find and like. And I was kind of going through my product graveyard, which I have to say I have a huge product graveyard at my house because I am the pickiest person ever. And being, in the industry, I do try a lot of different brands to see if it's things that my patients would like. And so today we're doing a sunscreen review on the sunscreens that I've tried. So why sunscreen? Sunscreen is the hardest thing to buy. So first of all, I really try to get my patients to do mineral-based sunscreens, right? So you want a sunscreen that's zinc or titanium oxide, primarily zinc oxide actually. So zinc oxide, I talked about it in another video, you can watch it here. But I talked about the fact that zinc oxide is the best ingredient when you think about UVA rays, which are the aging rays. UVA rays come through the windows even on a cloudy day. So they're the ones that are really associated with aging the skin, right? The other option is UVB, which are burning rays. And we can just tell if we get those a little bit easier, right? The other thing with zinc oxide is that zinc oxide helps us with protecting our skin's blue light. So, when we're at home in front of our computers all day long on our Zoom, zinc oxide actually will also help with that, which is awesome. The hard thing with sunscreens, right, is that I really try to get my patients to go mineral-based, which means just those two ingredients. So things like octinoxate, avobenzone are all chemical hormone disruptors. And studies have shown that they actually get into the bloodstream. So they've done studies on teenage women where they've drawn their blood, and large percentages of teenage women have these chemicals actually in their blood. So we know that the skin is one of our largest organs, and it's one of our largest organs to get things through and into the body. We use the skin in medication delivery, right? But we don't think about it when it comes to some of those hormone disrupting compounds and things that really change our endocrine system. So I really try to get my patients to go mineral based. Finding a mineral based sunscreen that doesn't suck is so hard. It's so hard. And so today I'm going to run through the ones that I've used. I'm going to tell you ones that I like and what I like and don't like about them. And then I'm going to tell you our favorite. I will give you a spoiler alert. It took me a long time to find a product that I liked, and I actually had to find one and just kind of bring it in and formulate it in my office. So I found one that I liked. But I do have some other ones that I've used that I've bought from different companies that I think are great options for patients. So without further ado, I'm going to start with a couple products that I really didn't like. So I don't even have the bottles, which tells you that I really didn't like them. I didn't even keep them to use them as my body sunscreen, which is how my sunscreen goes to die. So things like there's a Sente Invisible Shield sunscreen. I didn't really love this one. It was mineral based, which is great, but I found it to be a little bit too greasy and a little bit too thick. And for my skin, it just didn't sit right. My makeup didn't sit right over it. After using it for a couple days, I did actually break out. So that is one I wouldn't recommend. Another one that I don't have the bottle for is Elastin. Elastin has a mineral-based sunscreen that was honestly pretty decent. It was a little bit thick for me, and I felt like it was a little bit too heavy on my skin. So you're gonna find that that's kind of a theme for me personally, right? What I'm looking for in a sunscreen is I'm looking for it to be mineral-based, I'm looking for it to cover my skin well, and I'm looking for it to be pretty light. I really want my makeup to sit well over top of it. I want to be able to put my products underneath it, and I want my sunscreen to go on really smooth, but I don't want it to kind of like disrupt anything that I'm doing. So I found the Elastin one to be a little heavy for me. The other thing that I really struggle with, which some patients don't struggle with, but I do, is universal tint. If for the most part, universal tint in my skin tone, it's just a code for it. Should work on you, it doesn't. I find that it's usually too orange and just doesn't really work. So let's get to some products that I do actually like and would recommend, and I'll tell you kind of what I like about them and what I might change if I had my way. So one of my sunscreens that I actually was using prior to the sunscreen that I'm using is this Eminence one. You can see that I've had it for a long time. So it's their red Currant sunscreen. I like it because it is organic, it is mineral based, and it has a pretty good feel to it. I find that this is a good kind of beach sunscreen. So it's something that I would put on if I was gonna go to the beach or go lay out by the pool. I didn't love it as much under makeup. It's a bit too heavy for me under makeup. And maybe a bit kind of too hydrating. So I don't love it for that. But other than that, I honestly really do like this sunscreen a lot. I do also find that if I use it a couple days in a row, I personally will start to break out. My skin is pretty finicky like that. But this is kind of one of my go-tos, honestly, if I'm gonna be out and at the beach, out and about. For daily use, I struggled a bit with it. The next one that I do like for daily use, it goes on a bit more with like almost a matte finish, is this face shield by Colorscience. So I actually have a few products I'm going to talk about with Colorscience. They have a face shield and then they have a body shield, okay? Their face shield I actually do like. Their products separate. So that is a little bit frustrating. So you really have to shake it if you are gonna use it. But it does come out with a decent tint on it. And it is, it's not super duper like thick or oily. So it goes and it will kind of blend in really, really well. I do like it. You can see here it has kind of like a sheer finish to it by the time you get it on your skin. It feels nice, it's light, and it doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy. So I found that I could really put makeup on over it and do really, really well. This is probably one of my favorites in terms of an under makeup sunscreen for daily use. I also do like that it is a 50, which is awesome. So one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, okay, well, my makeup has sunscreen in it. It has like a 15 or 25. Is that enough? No, no, it's not enough. Makeup with sunscreen is great. And the more sunscreen, the better, right? But every single morning you should be putting on sunscreen. And technically they say that you should be putting on like 2 finger lengths of sunscreen in the morning. Applied all over your face and neck. It's a lot. You really do want to get that layer of protection before you even start, and then you want to do things like reapply your sunscreen, which is where we struggle the most, okay? So my next product is a really good reapplication product, and it is also Colorscience. This is my favorite product from Colorscience. It is their brush. It is zinc and titanium oxide. It is an SPF 50, and it's in a brush form. I would never use this as the only thing that I put on my skin in the day because you do need that layer of protection underneath your makeup. So, but this is a great reapplication. I use this in my car. I use it in my purse. I've had patients put it in their golf bags because it is a light tint. It goes on really, really smooth and great. You can kind of see that it's like you can barely see it. And you can put it right on over top of makeup. You're not even gonna notice it. And you should be applying your sunscreen every about 2 hours. So this is a great product for that. My next sunscreen is going to a drugstore option. I do find mineral-based sunscreens to be a little bit hard to find at drugstores, right? But Cetaphil is a really common brand. So the 2 most common brands that you think about with sunscreens at drugstores are going to be CeraVe and Cetaphil. This one is a sheer mineral-based sunscreen. I bought this. Technically, it can be used on your face. It is a dermatologist recommended brand. I don't put things that are not specifically designed for my face on my face because I have a hard time with it. But I did buy this for my body. You'll see what other kind of mineral-based sunscreens look like. So when you put this on, I mean, it was decent. It was decent. But when you rub it in, it kind of really takes a long time to rub in, right? So, and it has a little bit of a white tint. And I even noticed the other day when I was wearing it with like a black bathing suit, you get a little bit of the white, black bathing suit thing happening, which is not that great. But as a body sunscreen, I honestly would use this. I would just make sure you rub it in really, really well. This is something that I would probably put on like in my house before I leave and put on my bathing suit because then you're gonna be able to rub it in as best as you possibly can. But this is a 50. It is zinc and titanium oxide only, so it's mineral based only, which is awesome. It can technically says that it can be used on the face. If your skin's not super finicky, it may like it. I can tell you my skin would hate this. The body sunscreen, going back to Colorscience, the body sunscreen, so this is the same thing. You really have to shake it. But their body sunscreen is the same thing as the face. I do find that it has the same issue as that mineral sunscreen that I just talked about from the drugstore, where it does have a little bit of like a white tint to it, right? So if you're wearing it with a white bathing suit, or with a black bathing suit, sometimes it can rub off. But I do think that they're really, really, really good body options. And they would be good options to take to somewhere like Hawaii, where they are starting to really crack down on some of these ingredients because they know that they're killing the coral reefs. So these are really good options for that. Without further ado, I am going to talk about my favorite sunscreen. So like I said, our favorite sunscreen is our sunscreen that we brought in. And I brought it in because I needed something that I wanted to use every day. I found that even with, you know, the Colorscience face shield, which I like, with Eminence, I found that I didn't want to use them every day. And so it was kind of one of those products that I went and like reached into my cupboard and knew I should put on, but didn't really want to, you know, that kind of like, hesitancy, and I didn't want that in a product. So this is our Ethos sunscreen. It is a HA Mineral Defense. It has some hyaluronic acid in it, which is probably my favorite part about it. And it has a light tint. It actually has a universal tint, which I told you earlier that I never use because I hate universal tint, but this one works. And it goes on so smooth, which is what I like about it. So when you rub it in, it goes on super, super smooth. You can barely see it, and it's light, and it gives you like a little bit of, you can see kind of almost hydration, which is what I really, really like about this product. If I was looking for a product that was similar to this, I would look for a product that has zinc and titanium oxide only. And then I would look for a product that has some HA in it. I really think it's the hyaluronic acid in this product that makes it go on so slick and so smooth, and makes it set under your makeup in a barely there kind of way. I bring really good products into our office. I always have. I have to say this is the #1 product that I've brought into our office, where I have patients who like literally send their patients in off the street to tell me how much they love our sunscreen. And I really think it's the HA mixed with that physical blocker only that allows you to get that really smooth coverage without feeling like it's super heavy. So that is my kind of sunscreen 101. I have used a lot of brands, and I have a lot of bottles that either graduate to be just body sunscreen because I won't use them on my face, or that kind of just get tossed into the garbage, which is so frustrating. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to save you from having that same fate. Tell me in the comments below if there are sunscreens that maybe I haven't tried that you guys have tried that you love. One that I know is, I've heard really good things about, is one of the MD brands. I can't remember the name of it, but I will link it in the show notes. And I have heard amazing things about it, but I haven't actually physically tried that one. So I'm really curious to see what sunscreens you guys have found that you love that are physical or like mineral only, so that they are not having the endocrine disrupting compounds in them. Stay tuned next week for our next video.